large group breaking through the fence surrounding the statue of former President Andrew Jackson.
Will you shut up, man?
And Corn Pop was a bad dude.
180-day countdown until all these unchecked and overfunded, overprivileged intelligence agencies that we have in this country that have been studying the UFO phenomenon for decades now are being forced to disclose all the information they got. It was put into the COVID bill of all places. It was squeezed in there, giving these intelligence agencies 180 days to come clean about all of this UFO, which is now called UAP, Unidentified Aerial Phenomena. And this was put into place by Donald Trump, of all people. You know, Orange Man Bad, the one that everybody hates so much. All the presidents before him, from Barack Obama all the way down to George W.W., Bill the Fondling Clinton, and all the rest of them, none of them would ever even attempt to go at it with these intelligence agencies. But you already know that Trump's been at war with these people since the beginning, so he doesn't give a fuck. He's going to put them on the hot seat. And for anybody that thought that this wasn't serious, this is real deal shit, you can go ahead and read the bill yourself, the COVID relief bill. It's a lot of pages and such, but you'll find it in there. It's legit. Fox News has reported on it. Many other outlets have reported. I think it was briefly touched on in CNN, but they were so busy worrying about all these other things, impeachments and whatnot, that they just don't care. That the greatest discovery in the history of humanity is going to be revealed. Or is it? Or is it? So Marco Rubio says that he wants all the details, all the greasy details, everything, all the dirt. He wants to know what, Project Blue Book and all this, the whole thing. He wants the whole meat and potatoes. So they got 180 days to do it, and since the COVID relief bill was signed, that countdown has been ticking, so it's probably something more like, 160 days, 150 days. It's very soon, less than 6 months. If we even have a country in that amount of time. You don't know, with everything that's going on, a lot of this stuff could be a distraction just to prevent these details from coming out. And I'm going to get into exactly why with all of you, because you need to hear what the people that you pay all your money to are actually up to. While everybody's obsessing over Orange Man Bad all the time, and this fake outrage over what happened in the Capitol on Wednesday when the shit's been happening all summer long, you would think that people would be excited to know that there's life outside of this planet, that the whole entire universe doesn't revolve around us. Like a lot of these snowflakes believe that the whole world revolves around the United States and all its ills and all its problems, and it's so hard here and it's so horrible here. Yeah, well, it turns out that we're not the only thing in the universe either. That kind of changes the game, and it creates a huge paradigm shift for a lot of people. A lot of people are scared, especially in the fist-fucking celebrity elite power structure ranks. They will lose their control over this planet with all their institutions and everything that they've put into place in order to pacify the people, keep the people dumb and ignorant and blind and distracted from everything that they're doing. If you go watch that documentary, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, you go watch Unacknowledged, you'll get a lot of these details, and a lot of people laugh and think the stuff is funny. But that just goes to show you the conceitedness of all these people, the inflated self-importance that there's nothing beyond this earth, that somehow we're just a magical accident, and it all fits into their agendas and their atheism and everything else, and they're constantly pushing down, going out into space. So what do we know about all this? Well, there's quite a few people that were in the intelligence world, that were in the know, that are now coming out blowing the whistle. You got footage from Navy vessels, from Navy pilots that had that shit locked in their crosshairs. Aerial vehicles moving at a speed and in a way that nothing on this planet can do. And also, they want to know a lot more about what's going on in Area 51 and other things like that. But what does this mean for the planet if this shit comes out? What will happen? Well, they've already pretty much said that since this has all been, started to get funded by like the Truman administration, then Eisenhower, they basically lost complete control of this runaway train that is the intelligence agencies that pull all the strings and decide who's going to be president, who's going to be running the government in the House or the Senate. They decide what kind of agendas are going to go out there. They use psychological warfare and everything else to keep us all at each other's throats so that we'll be ready for anything if you think about it. Eisenhower spoke and he said, you know what? This is out of control. It's a runaway train, except Denzel Washington ain't around to stop it. So what have presidents in the past said about this UFO thing? They laughed about it. They made jokes about it. Even Obama made jokes about it, talking on a talk show, everything like that. But none of them have taken this step. None of them have had the balls to actually go against these intelligence agencies, put their life on the line, and want to bring this shit out into the open. I mean, even Bill Clinton said he's going to go look for the documents, the files, but says he couldn't find them. He never really looked for him at all. He had his hand down Monica Lewinsky's pants, and he thought that was where he can find the files. Yeah, look, got the X-Files down here, the X-rated files. Want to polish my cigar. And that's pretty much it. He knows, they all know, they're briefed on what they need to know. And according to what a lot of this documentary said, that most of the time these people, top-ranking officials in the Pentagon and whatnot, will ask what's going on. They'll tell him, you don't need to know. Isn't that crazy? An intelligence agency that we all pay for don't want to tell us nothing. And why is that, do you think? It's because these people will lose complete control, as I've said. The celebrity elite power structure, all its minions and hair-sniffing, fist-fucking weirdos, and everything that is running all these governments. And notice that this is not party-specific, people, when I talk like this. I never say it's one party. It's all of them. They're all involved in all the weirdness. Got too much free time in their hands, a lot of extra money that's not theirs. And they're just like living high on the hog. Like a shot caller on a prison yard. So they feel they could do whatever they want. And to keep this thing quiet is doing a huge injustice to this world. We're actually 100 years behind in technology. Because they don't want none of this out. They know how to manufacture a device that will create enough energy to fuel the whole planet. Nobody would ever need to have to pay for energy again. But all these corporate elites and everything can't have that. They have the means, the technology that they've learned, that they could have developed agriculture and farming to where everybody be fed. There wouldn't be a single starving person on this planet. All the people that want to push socialism in the government, they have the technology to make something like socialism actually work, but they don't want it to work because they really don't want to do anything for the people. They just want to keep you hoping. You know what I mean? They keep telling you, just let me stick the tip in. I promise I'll stick the whole thing in. Dangling a slice of pizza over your head, they'll let you sniff it, and just before you open your mouth, they'll snap back. Nope, couple more years, you'll have this slice. We just keep moving on and on and on, further and further towards mass destruction on this planet. And yet still, they don't want to let this out because they don't want to lose their power. But what are people doing right now? Outside of all the quackery and all the buffoonery and the weirdness of the whole UFO phenomenon with people getting probed and all that stuff like that, you've got some people that were heavy duties that are out there saying that this shit's for real. Just how much they're exaggerating on, nobody really knows. We won't know until these documents come out, if they ever come out. Don't hold your breath, though. It might be a closed-door session where they brief the Senate Intelligence Committee, Booby, Mark Rubio, Booby I like to call him. And then he's just going to come out and tell everybody, sorry, everybody, there's nothing there. It might turn out to be just a big old giant nothing burger. And where does that leave us? Back to the science fiction and the fantasy and everything like that. However, there is another possibility to all of this. I'm going to tell you the 3 different belief systems surrounding this whole phenomenon. Number 1, you got the people like that are in unacknowledged and Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind that are saying that this is a good thing. If they wanted to attack us, they could have attacked us. They're like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years more advanced than we are. Think of how their thinking is advanced as well. Some of them believe that most of the time that they're actually like moving themselves through time and it's just a reflection. It's not even really a physical object that they're seeing. But it's like a projection from somewhere far, far away through wormholes, black holes, God knows what. I mean, think about it. What do you think the technology here is going to look like if we last for 1,000,000 years? I mean, we ain't got our shit together by then, man. Then there's probably just somebody just needs to push the mass destruction button and just start over. So there's that. These people want to make contact with them, this group of people, one of the 3, because they believe that it'll usher in global peace. We will finally challenge all of our limiting beliefs and everything that we thought we knew about the world and about God and everything like that. All of that goes out the window, and in an instant, people will have no choice but to embrace each other and embrace this thing. And the minute ET lands and steps out with the live long and prosperous, humanity will forever be transformed into a peaceful society. That is their goals and that is their hopes. Is it a pipe dream? Who knows? Then you got the second group of people. The people like what Donald Trump did. What a lot of these guys that are coming out on Fox News that are talking about people from the military, they're hyping this thing up as a global security threat. The military, all of them. And then you wonder why Donald Trump created Space Force. People laughed and thought it was funny. But now we're coming to find out why Space Force was even created in the first place, to address this global threat from an intergalactic empire of warlike Klingons that are going to come down here and scalp all of us and eat our brains. Then you have the third people. The third group of people. These are the ones that see it along religious lines. They believe they're angels, they believe they're demons, but for the most part, they believe they're demons. I'm not going to get on here and knock any one of these 3. But if I was willing to bet money, I wouldn't stack my chips up on the one that says they're demons. All right? Not to knock anybody's beliefs or anything, I just don't believe that that's what it is. The universe is, we can't even describe how large it is. And there may not even be one universe. There may be many. Inter-universal beings may be able to transport themselves from one universe to the other. We have no idea how vast space really is and what is really out there. Because we're 100 years behind, remember? But we're learning every single day. We're seeing new worlds. We're seeing planets. We're seeing planets that are capable of supporting life, human life, on these planets that are thousands of years away, hundreds of years away, millions of years away. To look at it as like they're demons or something like that, to each his own. To look at it like it's a global threat from an intergalactic invading Klingon army, kind of far-fetched as well. To look at them as basically they're looking down upon us like it's a science project. For all we know, these are a bunch of high school kids up there examining all the fucking apes and tigers and everything in the cage. And we're just another animal. Or maybe they invented us in the first place, so this goes back to the third group of people and basically saying they're demons, because if you read the Gnostic Gospels, Like the Pistis Sophia and all those things like that, the library that they found that was buried in the desert in Egypt, and what was it, Nag Hammurabi, you would learn that basically they're saying that the devil and pretty much created this world. But if they're demons, if they're angels, if they are actually the ones that created us, and this is on some big giant science project like an ant farm, who knows? We may appear to be so insignificant to them that it's just a curiosity. It's just like I said, it's a safari. And it's nothing more than that. But just wait until the aliens start coming here that are looking for suits, skinning us alive and stuff like that so you can hang us up in one of their museums. Or turn you into a nice rug in front of the fireplace. Like I said, all we could do is make jokes. All we could do is speculate. All we could do is we could stay wrapped up in faith or militaristic, warlike, global threat thinking. We could be hopeful that these people are so evolved, that they're so evolved to the point to where it's like not even comprehensible, like how they think. We can't even figure it out. And it might push us like 1,000 years ahead just that fast. Migrating off planet into other worlds and everything like that. Who knows? But is it going to be a big fat nothing burger? We will be finding out less than 6 months from now. Is the only thing we're going to hear about is impeachments and ending the electoral college and packing the courts? Or are we going to actually, is somebody going to come forward and say, damn, man, this shit's for real and we better take it serious? Humanity depends on this. And it really depends on which one is pitching that thing. If it's somebody like Pat Robertson or something like that, they're probably going to get us ready for Armageddon. If it's somebody from the military, they're going to turn us into a fucking warlike civilization like the Klingons, a warrior class of people ready to do battle in the galaxy. Or if it's the other ones, the more rational-minded, intelligent, logical thinking ones, this is a highly advanced race of people that are way beyond us, and they could solve a lot of our problems if we just asked them for help. Can we swallow the pride and get that done? Let me know what you think about this whole thing in the comments below. But until then, see you in the next one.